Hello, wonderful people of the internet. You're probably looking around and you see that, just like usual, I'm in the bottom left corner, but then you look at the top right corner where Matthew is, and he's not there. And you're thinking, my hero, the whole only reason that I watch this podcast is to hear Matt's take on this, and he's not here. So before you click off, just give me a chance. I promise you're not going to regret this next time that we're going to spend hanging out talking about football. And Matt has a good reason for not being here. Trust me. He is diarrhea. So he'll be back next week, maybe. I don't know how long that usually lasts, but he's going through it big time. So we have four of us in the Pick'ems League. We have myself, we have Rhett, we have Matt, we have Andrew. Not to brag, leading it off in first place is me. I can't play fantasy football, but I know how to pick teams. I also can't gamble because I lose. But with nothing on the line, I can pick good winning teams. Anyway, second place, we got Rhett. Not much to say except he's Rhett, you know? He makes up for his lack in height with a big brain. And then we have Matt, who is just a disappointment. Then we have Andrew in fourth place, who I don't think he's even trying anymore, if we're being honest. So let's hop into the first game of the week. We have a nice Thursday night game. We have Atlanta Falcons hosting the Tampa Bay Bucks. Guys, is there a world that the Bucks don't steamroll the Falcons? I know the Falcons are a lot better than we thought they were, blah, blah, blah. You know, Kirk Cousins came in, is doing his thing. He's meshing with the team while everything's going good. Things are trending up. Arthur Smith is gone, so that means that the offense of the Falcons isn't stupid anymore. That's not enough. Baker is baking. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans are looking like Randy Moss and Megatron right now. I don't know what Rashad White's deal is, but he needs to figure it out before he loses his job to Bucky Irving. I don't know. I can't analyze this game because the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to win. So, moving on to Sunday. Ooh, it's our first London game. All the Londoners, I don't know what you call them, are going to take a break from chewing the sidewalk because they have messed up teeth. It was a joke. Take a break from chewing on the sidewalk to tune into real football because they're footy. They play footy over there. Nah, bro. This is real football, not that gay stuff. Anyway. Sunday, 9:30 a.m. We are sending the Jets into a slaughterhouse, which I'm fine with. I don't like the Jets. But we're sending them into the offensive and defensive buzzsaw that is the Minnesota Vikings. If, 5 weeks ago, you told me to pick a sleeper team, I would not have picked the Vikings to be 4-0 heading into week 5. The offseason that they had with their rookie dying in a car crash, then their first round draft pick hurts his knee and is out for the season, and Sam Darnold is your quarterback, and everybody's like, oh, season is over before it even started. Sam Darnold stepped in and said, not so fast. So we have Sam Darnold revenge game against the Jets, who, honestly, Sam Darnold can play quarterback. He's proved that the past 5 weeks. But somehow he sucked when he was with the Jets. So is it a Sam Darnold problem or is it a Jets problem? Because I think it's the latter. It's always the Jets problem because the Jets suck. I wish the only thing that soccer has right is relegation leagues. So we should definitely relegate the Jets for pure suckage. So, Sam Darnold, revenge game. Their defense is so good. Their offense is good. I don't know what else to say. Their offense is good. Sam Darnold knows how to sling a football. And the Jets last week didn't know how to run a football, didn't know how to pass a football, didn't know how to stop a football from getting in the end zone because they lost. And all of America celebrated. But going over to London, I don't see them winning this game against the Vikings. The Vikings are the superior team. And, yeah. What do you think, Matt? Oh, that's right. Matt's not here. Next up, 1 o'clock p.m. When I tell you, I will do a lot of things for a small amount of money. But there is no amount of money that you can pay me to watch the Carolina Panthers play the Chicago Bears. I don't know why this is even a game. It irks me. Andy Dalton came in week 3 and laid the hog down, and we thought, oh, it was a Bryce Young problem, blah, blah, blah. Andy Dalton's Tom Brady. Don't get me wrong, Andy Dalton is way outplaying Bryce Young and definitely deserves to keep on starting. But last week, dropped the game. Not the greatest performance from the Panthers. Big surprise. And meanwhile, we have the Bears on the opposite side of the football. Caleb Williams is a rookie. Like, unless your name is CJ Stroud, quarterbacks don't come into the league and just start laying down Madden-like numbers. Same thing for Rome Odunze. I'm telling you, this Bears team is good. They have all the pieces necessary on offense, except for that O-line. That O-line is pretty trashed. So it's only a matter of time before the Bears start winning football games. It's like a ticking time bomb. So I'm picking the Bears here because I know that they have a superior team. They have a good defense. They have a good offense. And we saw what they could do when they're firing on all cylinders. Caleb Williams tossed 2 touchdown passes, I think, week 2. So I have faith in the Bears. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know at some point it will happen that they will be a good football team. Next up, this is going to be a good one. Good one. We got Baltimore at Cincy. Cincinnati winning their first game of the season last week. Nobody starts seasons worse than the Bengals, but once they start, they start. Baltimore shut the Bills down. I was watching that game and I was like, I feel like I'm watching the Dolphins game. I feel like I'm watching the Dolphins play. Like, the Bills could not get anything started on offense or defense. I don't know what Derrick Henry does that at 37 years old, I don't know how old he is, I know he's old, he can still run like that. I mean, he's amazing. The whole Baltimore team is very good. The fact that they're 2-2 is so insane to me. I mean, they should have won the game against the Chiefs, but Isaiah likely has big feet, so he was called out, unfortunately. Or he just should have worn white cleats, but whatever. This Ravens team is good. This Cincinnati team also, I think, is good. I don't really know. After a 1-3 start, it's hard to have faith. I know Joe Burrow is good. I know Jamar Chase is good. I think that since T. Higgins is back, it's taking a lot of the pressure defensively off of Jamar Chase, and so that's opening up a lot of new opportunities for both guys. So I think things are going to turn around for sure for Cincinnati, and they're going to start winning football games, make the wild card, go deep into the playoffs. But they're not going to start this week. They are going to go to 1-4 against the Ravens because the Ravens are going to win this game. Next up, we got the Dolphins versus the Patriots. This is another game that you could not pay me to watch. Yesterday, when I was, watching the Dolphins, I watched probably like 20 minutes of the game, and then I started watching the Lions Seahawks game because the Dolphins are probably the worst team that I have seen in my life. I'm a Giants and Dolphins fan, so I've seen so many bad Dolphins teams. I've seen so many bad Giants teams, but this one literally, honestly, kind of makes me want to take a head on with a semi. Tyreek Hill, 24 yards on 7 catches. I know it's Tyler Huntley playing. And that's another thing. Dolphins front office. You really saw Tyler Huntley play against Pittsburgh in the playoffs last year, and then you said, oh, that's our backup. We want that guy. No. Their defense is terrible. Their offense without Tua is terrible. Even this season with Tua, the offense wasn't that great. So I don't know what happened between last season and this season, but the fall off of the Dolphins needs to be studied. Next up, we have the Patriots, who I don't follow any of the news of the Patriots because I don't like the Patriots. I think Jacoby Brissett is still their quarterback unless Drake May. I really wanted the Giants to draft Drake May. I'm just mad that Drake May isn't a Giant, but whatever. Patriots are going to win. It's in Foxborough. Typically, the Dolphins and Patriots always split the series anyway. Patriots are going to win. I don't think the Dolphins are going to score a touchdown. This is going to be one of those 3-9 football games. So prepare yourself. Next up, we got the 3-1 Washington Commanders versus the Cleveland Browns, who are 1-3. And I mean, you know how I feel about certain players on the Cleveland Browns. The ones who just like to pull their appendages out of their pants and whip it out in public and assault people. So the Browns being 1-3, very nice. The Commanders being 3-1, 2 words: Jaden Daniels, who also should have been a Giant. Isn't that funny? I like Malik Neighbors. I'm glad that the Giants drafted him, but anyway. So this Commanders team is moving from the slot of pretenders to contenders. There we go. Pretenders to contenders. They are looking good. Jaden Daniels is looking good. Their defense looking okay. And this Browns team is just going downhill so quick. Their defense was one of the top in the league last year. This year, not that bad. I'm kind of gauging it. If you lose to the Giants, you've lost my respect for the entire year. The Browns lost to the Giants. I don't respect them at all anymore, ever. And so that's why I'm picking the 3-1 Commanders at home. Jaden Daniels is going to run all over this defense. All right. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Colts versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville's bad. I like Trevor Lawrence, as a person, as a player, and I don't know what happened. I don't think that their 0-4 start is totally on Trevor Lawrence's shoulders. I mean, everybody on the team isn't playing well. Travis Etienne not playing well. Receivers not playing well. Defense not playing well. So hopefully they can turn it around. I don't even know. Because they're another team that seemingly added some new pieces over the offseason and you would think would be a little bit better this year. But that is clearly not the case. And they're taking on the Colts, who I'm not sure if Anthony Richardson is going to be back. He exited the game last week with a minor injury. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. But meanwhile, Joe Flacco came in. I don't know how old he is. I think he's in his 50s or something. And he laid it down. And the Colts wiped the floor offensively. So this Colts team looking pretty good. They're 2-2. And so obviously you have to pick them because a Colts team that's 2-2 versus a Jacksonville team that's 0-4. I think offensively this Colts team is better. I think defensively this Colts team is better. Let's face it, though, neither team are that fantastic, but I still think that the Colts take this one. All right, next up, we got Bills versus Houston. Houston lost against the Vikings. Big surprise. You know, the Vikings are the new 07 Patriots. I think it was 07 when they went 17-0. I don't really remember. I don't want to remember. They were the new 72 Dolphins. There we go. And so, unfortunately, the Houston Texans lost the game. But this week, they're playing against an angry, mad Bills team that lost against the Ravens last week. And I'm going to pick the Texans. I think the Bills are a great team. If you have been any part of the channel or Instagram, you know how I feel about Josh Allen. I think he's the greatest quarterback ever. He's literally Superman, and he can turn a horrible team good. I don't think that this Bills team is actually that fantastic. They went to a 3-0 start, but who did they play? They played the Dolphins, who suck. They played Arizona, who not that good. And then they played somebody week 2 or 3 or something. They haven't had games against tough teams. And then they play this game against the Ravens, who are a tough team, and they poop the sheets. So I'm going to pick the Houston Texans. The Texans are a good team. They got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. 3 guys who could be wide receiver 1 on another team. And they're all on the same team. Not to mention they got CJ Stroud, who is amazing. I just love how everybody made fun of CJ Stroud going into the draft last year, saying, oh, he's stupid, he's dumb, he failed his... I forgot what test they make everybody do. And then CJ's like, you guys know that doesn't matter. Like, we're here to play football, not take tests. And since then, he's been the greatest quarterback this generation has ever seen. First 4:00 game, we have the Raiders at Broncos. We have a nice divisional game. Hot news today. The Raiders head coach said that they might trade Devontae Adams, which I hope so. He's on my fantasy team. And Gardner Minshew is peak male performance, athleticism, physique, everything that you should aspire to be. But maybe not quarterback-wise. So I'm going to go with the Broncos here. They beat the Jets last week, which isn't hard to do, but I really don't know. I feel like they are very even teams. The split right now is 54% are picking the Raiders, 46% are picking the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Broncos. The Broncos are at home, and they're high off of that win against the Jets. But yeah, I don't know. Next up, we got the 1-3 Cardinals versus the 2-2 49ers. When the Cardinals had that week 2 blowout win, everybody was like, "Oh, this Marvin Harris and Kyler Murray connection is insane," and then they lose 2 straight. So, you got to pick the 49ers. The 49ers are struggling without Christian McCaffrey. And also, Brandon Ayuk decided that he doesn't want to play football anymore. He just wants to run routes and be pretty. So, 49ers are struggling, but they got the better coaching, the better team, and I mean, they'd have to win, right? Because losing to the Cardinals would be the worst thing ever. Who does that? So 49ers, picking them, locking them in. Moving on. 4:25, Green Bay at the Rams. This Green Bay team looked good. I say that about a lot of teams. Who did they play last? They lost against the Vikings last week. So, can you really win against the Vikings? Nobody's going to win against the Vikings this year. So, I'll give them that pass. But Jordan Love came back from his knee injury. He was sidelined for a couple weeks, and he lit it up. Yeah, he threw 3 picks, but who cares about the picks, when you get 30 fantasy points? He's not on my team. He's actually on somebody else's team. I wish he was on my team. So Jordan Love came back. He was firing on all cylinders. This Packers team needs to use Josh Jacobs more, especially in the red zone, so that I can win fantasy games. And meanwhile, this Rams team looking rough. They have injuries. They're always injured. I don't know what to say. That's just the story of the Rams this year. So even though the Rams are at home, I'm going to pick the Packers. They're the better team, better defense, better offense, better pizza. Papa John's. All right, guys. You know what time it is? It's time for the next 4 minutes, 45. It's next hour of the vein in my forehead popping out because I'm talking about the Giants. Because we got the Giants versus the Seahawks, 1-3 versus 3-1. And honestly, watching this Giants team last week, actually, let me talk about some positive stuff before I absolutely trash them. Last week was a great game. Like, yeah, they lost, and it's really annoying that they didn't score a single touchdown. But they were driving the ball against this mediocre, against this Cowboys team. Daniel Jones had a garbage time pick, but Daniel Jones, the past 2-3 games, hasn't been bad. He's thrown 1 interception over those past few games. He's thrown north of 250 yards. So I'm hoping that 2022 Daniel Jones is going to make an appearance this year. I'm hoping that. But, at the same time, I think everybody not named Malik Neighbors or Kayvon Thibodeau or Brian Burns or Dexter Lawrence should just, start applying at Walmart. Especially the front office. Honestly, I would rather keep the players and just trash the front office. I think they're a bunch of morons, bro. The dumbest people alive. You think that, Taylor Swift fans are dumb with their big gums and, obsession with Taylor Swift? No, the Giants front office is freaking stupid. I'm picking the Seahawks. I don't really need to say much more. Speak of the devil, that is the Cowboys. They are playing Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who lost their first game last week. I don't remember who it was to because I don't follow the Steelers like that, but Steelers lost. I do know that. I'm going to pick the Steelers on this one. They're at home playing Sunday night. The Cowboys don't look like the Cowboys, because you know how every season they start off the season and then they look so good and they're like, oh, it's our year, and then they get to the playoffs and thankfully they just die out, which is amazing because then we get to make fun of them. But they're starting the year slow, which really makes me hope that they're not doing an Uno reverse, starting slow and ending quick, because I don't want to see a Cowboys Super Bowl. That would probably be the Super Bowl that I did not watch. If I had to watch the Dallas Cowboys in a Super Bowl, I would not watch it. I would rather watch the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys. And then I'm fine to watch the Commanders, and I don't like the Commanders, but they've been sucking for so long that it's yay, buddy, you did something. Anyway, I got super off topic. I don't know. Pittsburgh sucks, but they're 3-1. Somehow they're finding ways to win games. Justin Fields, we're seeing flashes of that Justin Fields that was good. So who knows? Maybe he keeps that way. But, a team that doesn't blow out the Giants, the Cowboys, I'm talking about the Cowboys, they can't play a real football team and think that they're going to win. So I'm going to pick the Steelers on this one. Yeah. All right, Monday night. That was me and Matt's thing. He would say Monday night, and I say Monday night, and then he'd say Monday night, But Matt's not here anymore. So, Monday night, we got the Saints versus Chiefs. Look, at this point, guys, the Chiefs could not complete a single pass or have a first down in a game, and the rest would still find some way to have the Chiefs win. They won that last game. I'm not talking about that last game where Patrick Mahomes. That sucks, man, because like football is the greatest sport ever, but football sucks so much. Like, you throw an interception and you're like, this is the worst thing that could have happened. I threw a pick. No. You try to tackle the guy and accidentally blow out your number one wide receiver's knee. So, speedy recovery for Rashee Rice. Hopefully he can get his knee fixed quick and be back on the field, because that's really rough. That sucks. So, that's just football, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, New Orleans and Kansas City. Kansas City wins? Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is 3-2. 2-2. Good for them, but you know, Kansas City is good and have the power of Taylor Swift and her hordes of whatever on her side. Anyway, this is going downhill super quick, so I'm gonna end it here. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Also, we have an Instagram. It is Reisfootballpod, pod for podcast, and we post some really funny stuff. I talk on it sometimes Matt talks, and other times I'll post memes. I posted one yesterday and nobody liked it or saw it, and I thought it was so funny. So go to our last reel that we posted and please like it, because my ego is suffering horrendously. So that is all I have, because Matt's not here. That is all I have for this week's video. And yeah, keep it loose.